All right. Good afternoon, everybody. It is a Sunday afternoon, very beautiful and super hot Sunday afternoon where I'm at. And I hope everybody's doing good. Everybody's being safe, taking care of you and yours in all aspects of doing so. Like I always say, within the whole corona COVID issue and outside of it, I hope you're taking care of yourself and your families. Um, Everything with me is okay. I mean, I'm a little sleepy today. I had a meeting earlier, Zoom meeting earlier today, and I figured since I had a little burst of energy, let me go ahead and hit you guys up with a topic that I got an email about and that I surprisingly was also talking to a girlfriend about this morning. So I thought it was very fitting for me to go ahead and get my recording in today. Outside of that, nothing new is really going on with me. Same old, still working from home, gratefully. And still, just living life, online dating, still very hilarious and sad at the same time, people. Again, I'll probably do another online dating segment because I had done one. If you guys hadn't seen it before, it was the online dating woes. You can go back a couple of months. That's one of my first videos. You can check that one out. But I think I'm going to do an update because it's just a lot of humorous things with this online dating that I just find a little bit confusing, and I would like some kind of feedback. It would be great if somebody can give some feedback to some of the concerns that I have as a single woman online dating. Okay, so regular housekeeping rules. As normal, please SLS me, subscribe, like, and share, please. I have a lot of people watching, rather not even that many people watching, which is sad. I don't understand why you guys aren't watching. But if you're watching, tell me if you like it or thumbs down me. Like, say something. Don't just watch and then that's it. Tell me what you're thinking. Whether you leave a comment at the bottom, you send me an email at sugarfreelifecoaching.com. Or if you, again, even a simple thumbs up, thumbs down that you really didn't care for it. If you didn't care for it, I would like you to leave some kind of feedback to let me know, maybe what you didn't like about it, so I can keep that in mind with other segments that I put onto the channel. And so always SLS me if you have any topics, any advice that you may want, any feedback, any comments, please leave it here at the bottom of the channel in the comments section, or you can send me an email, as I said earlier, at sugarfreelifecoaching@yahoo.com. If you would like some personal one-on-one life coaching, definitely send me an email at sugarfreelifecoaching@yahoo.com, and we can definitely set up a meeting. Definitely is my word for the day. But I wanted to go ahead and get into this. Wait, SLS me. Hit your notification button. People are still mentioning that they're not getting notifications whenever something new has been uploaded. I can't help you. I mean, I did help you, but maybe you missed that one. So go back a couple of videos, and in the beginning I mentioned about how you can, if you're already a subscriber, get the notification so you'll be notified whenever I do put up new content. And there were two options to select from. I would suggest the one that the option for all, because I don't know what the other one is for. Maybe that's what you pressed and that's why you hadn't gotten any notification. So definitely give me some feedback as you're watching, as you're sharing with friends, families, associates about Miss Zan and her thoughts on different topics and advice that she's given out. Like today, I'll be giving out some advice on an email that I received. So I'm going to go ahead and read it as it was sent to me, and then I will let you know what I think. And thank you so much for this content. This is not on a relationship as far as like intimate relationship. It is a parental relationship, and I appreciate the openness that this person has shared and letting me put this on the channel. So the email reads, I am a mother of two beautiful children, one 11-year-old girl and a 14-year-old boy. Overall, both are good kids. My husband thinks I shelter them and that I do not give appropriate punishments. He says that I make him to be the bad parent and that I'm a pushover. I got beatings growing up, and I swore to myself when I became a parent I would be different and communicate through conversation with my kids. I don't know what to do. I don't want them to have two bad guy parents. Any advice would be helpful, Miss Ann. Thank you so much for sharing this. And thank you for being open to a different way of thinking about your parenting. Me, for one, I was a beater parent. I am 100% into beating your children. Now, I'm not saying beat the crap out of them. I'm not saying to abuse them. I believe that spankings, and not just little spankings, like that whole give me your hand, pow pow, and no, you have to, I believe a beating is necessary. Now, some people said beatings didn't really make a difference in their life. It didn't sway them either way. They can get a beating and keep on moving. I haven't heard that much. I heard it from one person, but there's most likely other people that were affected the same way. Overall, from my experiences, beatings made a difference. Now, whether or not I still did what my mother and father didn't want me to do, I did, but it was behind their backs, and I was very, very careful about doing it. But I think that beatings are essential part of being a parent. Again, not to be abusive to your children. When I beat my son as he was growing up, I would explain the beatings afterwards. I would talk about, well, why this happened, because I think it's one of the things that I didn't like when I got beat is that I didn't. Sometimes I was confused. It was kind of like a little mommy dearest situation. Like Christina used to sit there like, what in the world just happened? Like, why did she spaz out on me? Why did she beat me like that? And I didn't want that for my son. So I communicated why the beatings were given out. And I think that's important as a parent, because you want to let them understand this is this is the reason why this happened. And so if they have any questions, and maybe that would help them with processing how to do things the next time. Again, things will most likely be done behind a parent's back, but you want to let your children know that it's wrong. What you are going to do, if you're going to continue doing it, it's wrong, because you got a beating the first time. And I think a beating associated with wrongdoing is a good way to remember that was a wrongdoing. Like little children, when they reach for the socket, I know people say, why you always talk about the children in the socket, but I would pluck my son on his knuckles whenever he reached for the electrical sockets. Now, they did have those little plastic things that guard the children. And I think I had those when he got older, but I don't think I had them like when he first started moving around. But a pluck always worked. We never had a problem. We had a couple of plucks, and he would scream and cry, but then everything was all right. So he put the association to the plucks and the outlet as a no-no. And that's a good way to teach children, I believe, on how not to do things. I think it's essential, though, not always to have beatings, but to have boundaries and to have punishments, and sometimes they may be severe punishments. You have to prepare your children for the real world. To not beat your child and not have them learn that there's ramifications for their behavior is unrealistic, and you're setting your child up for failure. Because at the end of the day, once they're outside of your home and they start to interact with other people, authority figures, whether that's in school, whether it's not with officers in the community, which anyway, that's a whole different thing. But I mean, just overall, a good officer and someone who's trying to help the community, they have to know how to have that respect. They have to know that you can't keep pushing the envelope because you're not at home anymore. Okay, you say the wrong thing to the wrong person. Yeah, you may be able to talk crazy to your mom and dad at home, but you step outside that door and you talk crazy to somebody else, you can get hurt. They have to know that. Like, I think that what do you call it? Homeschooling is really great, especially for the educational portion of it. But it has to be some kind of balance, and I mentioned that before. It has to be some kind of balance, because that social interaction is so important. And I think people overlook those social interactions as if it's all just about playing and partying and wrongdoing. But it's about communication. It's how to handle yourself in public. It's how to respect certain levels of authority that's out here, whether it be your teacher, your principal, a guidance counselor. There's ways that you have to behave. And if you keep your child sheltered, or you keep your child in an environment where there are no restrictions at any level, they're not going to be successful outside. They're not going to be successful once they're 18. I always believe that 18 and older, I always believe that as a parent, your goal, granted they're little and they're cute, but you have to prepare them for life. I think that's your responsibility. I think that you have to get them ready to be purposeful and productive in society as an adult. Those children are going to grow up. They're not going to always be babies or toddlers or preteens and then teenagers and young adults. They're going to be adults. They're going to have jobs. They're going to be dating. They're going to get married. They're going to be, working. They're going to be employed by multiple places. And you want them to be able to learn and to grow, but you have to give them that foundation. And I think as a parent, you have to do that. And plus, it's not fair for you to leave that solely on your husband to do. He's right. You can't just be the good guy all the time and he's always the bad guy. You both have to be on the same page with the way that you're going to discipline your children. Again, your goal is to have productive children. And if you think about it, I had mentioned this a while back in the conversation with someone, that you think about the person that you would date. If your daughter is, young and misbehaving, would you want your son to bring home a woman like that, a young woman like that? And if it's your son that you're raising, would you date someone like your son? Would that be somebody that you're proud of, that you would want to hold his hand and bring them to your parents? I think you have to be mindful that, again, you are raising an adult. And it's not an easy job. It's very difficult. But if you have the co-parenting household where you both are trying to raise these children and raise them well, you have to play your part. And being a good guy is not always playing your part. You may be really hurting your children by just always taking their side and always defending what they do, because they're children, they're learning. So for you to always take their side as if they're right, they will be wrong. And not that you're always right, but you may have to have a discussion with your husband, because you have to be on the same page. Y'all have to be a unit, because children, they like to manipulate. And not all children like to, but they are testing. And the first place I believe that they test is at home and at school. Those are the major areas that they spend a lot of time in. And especially if you have those two parents, they're going to try to see what they can do with one and get over with the other one, and vice versa, knowing better not to step to one parent because they know it's not going to happen, and then try to go to the pushover one. And then the pushover will try to defend their actions once the bad guy parent finds out. So yeah, you have to be on the same team and you have to stay solid, even though sometimes it may be uncomfortable. Vent that to somebody else. Vent that to your other girlfriends or your mom or somebody else who could kind of understand, that it's not always easy to not fall for your kid and not kind of bend to whatever they want. But at the end of the day, you'll be better for it and they will be better for it. And you'll be teaching them lessons that hopefully they'll be able to teach their children. You have to build a really solid foundation, I believe, with these children. And you have to take a stance in raising them to be productive adults. So that's about it. This one is kind of quick, and I just wanted to respond to that email. I got it about a week ago and just getting to it now. Y'all know how I do. But I appreciate the openness and the request for feedback on the direction that you should go in. So be good parents. Nothing wrong with beating your kid. Belts, sticks, switches, like I've had them all. Extension cords, I don't like the extension cords. That just seems a little bit over the top. But, it happens. And we're all fine. You get beaten and you'll be all right. And again, communicate with your children. I think it's important to let them know the reason why things are happening. And if they have any questions, by all means, let's open up this dialogue and let's answer it, because maybe they need a better understanding. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Just because I beat you, that doesn't mean I beat you. That's it. Shut up. Don't ask me nothing. Don't inquire why you got your butt beat. Like, I think there should be a little bit of a conversation. Not too much, because at the end of the day, you are the parent. So we're not going to do a lot of giving in that area. But I'm open to having a discussion. So I think that you should definitely get on the same page, you and your husband or your boyfriend, whoever your partner is. You need to have a discussion as to how you want to move forward and the roles that both of you will play moving forward with your children. So I wish you the best of luck. I hope this has been helpful to you. If you have any follow-ups or any questions or any other scenarios that you wanted to get my advice on and that you wanted me to speak about on the channel, please send me an email, sugarfreelifecoaching@yahoo.com. And anybody else, if you have any scenarios, any Dear Abbeys, any strawberry letters, Send it to me, okay? Let me talk about it on the channel. Let's share the knowledge, okay? And have a discussion. We can open up for discussion. Comments could be left and people can respond to comments. Let's not be scared, people. Okay, talk to me. That's why I'm here. All right, so I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have a great upcoming week. Stay safe. Stay in if possible. There's a lot of people out here. There's a lot of people, but you're going to do what you want to do. You're grown. Just try to be as safe as possible and take care of you. And as always, until next time, deuces.